And also she's kind of the first villain Disney ever had. So it's really that I grew up watching in the old animated movie. And it's not just like professionally enjoying working with them. You know, we treated this film with such honor to the original film, and you know, you need to respect the classic, and essentially this was the movie that really started.
The live-action Snow White remake is now officially one of the biggest box office disasters in Hollywood history. Despite the budget, the cast, and all the hype, it bombed. But what makes this worse is that insiders are now saying Rachel Zegler's own co-star Gal Gadot is quietly holding her responsible. And here's where it starts getting really messy. On March 19th, Gal Gadot posted a reel from Disneyland where she was promoting the movie. But what fans noticed wasn't just the cute rides, it was that Gal was radiating exactly what people used to love about Disney: joy, fun, and the magic of childhood. Fans began pointing out that even though Gal and Rachel worked on the same movie, Gal never pushed any of the political or so-called woke talking points that Rachel became infamous for. In fact, the only time Gal said anything remotely political was when she was sitting beside Rachel during interviews, and even then, it looked like she was forced into it. One clip in particular has been making the rounds. A reporter asks about the modern feminist angle in Snow White, and Rachel completely hijacks the conversation, leaving Gal sitting there awkwardly.
Bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Critics didn't just take issue with the politics, they also called out the acting. Clips of both actresses' performances in the film went viral, but for all the wrong reasons. One TikTok even featured side-by-side moments of Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, with fans questioning how a billion-dollar company could have approved that level of acting in the first place.
Tell me, are you against me too? Are you? Yes or no?
Insiders say Gal Gadot is genuinely saddened by the movie's failure. According to reports, she feels that the entire cast and crew worked incredibly hard, only for everything to unravel due to one person's political outbursts. And it's not just about disappointment. Rumors are now swirling that Gal Gadot might even consider legal action against Rachel, allegedly blaming her for the complete collapse of the project.
Already has a legal team prepared to take action against Zegler after Gal claimed that Zegler's political issues with Gal behind the scenes indirectly caused Gadot to lose multiple movie roles in the industry after studios picked up on the drama and what was going on over at Disney.
Meanwhile, Disney is so nervous about the online backlash that they've quietly delayed releasing Snow White on their streaming platform. That's right, despite spending hundreds of millions, they're sitting on the film instead of promoting it on Disney+.
Delay the process of putting this movie on Disney+. They don't really want to put it on there immediately. They don't want it on there as early as May. So they are delaying that process quite significantly because they know once it goes on there, they're probably going to get round 2 of backlash related to this movie for those that were perhaps not willing to go ahead and see it in theaters and wanted to actually check it out on Disney+.
And here's the real number that proves how bad this got. By its 4th weekend, Snow White had been dropped from 1,010 theaters. It launched in approximately 3,750 and fell to just 2,540 in a matter of weeks. Gal Gadot herself finally spoke on the flop, saying that successful projects require professional co-stars and a competent team, a line many fans believe was directly aimed at Rachel.
I see it is if you want to have a successful project, then you need to have a very competent team, along with competent and well-behaved.
She also warned that getting too political can alienate audiences. Again, a message that's hard not to connect to Rachel's behavior.
Promoting a film is when you begin to get very political. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see that. When you are an actress, that's your job. We are not politicians. We are here to...
The tension between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler didn't just start on set. It runs much deeper and has now become one of the most uncomfortable behind-the-scenes riffs in recent Disney history. At the center of it, politics. Gal Gadot is Israeli, and served in the IDF. She has been openly pro-Israel in interviews and online posts, including on platforms like Time and Hey Alma. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler has voiced strong support for Palestine, even ending a 2024 post with, "Always remember, free Palestine." According to multiple reports, Rachel's statement created serious internal problems for Disney. One producer, Mark Platt, allegedly had to meet with her privately due to the controversy it sparked. Things escalated when Gal Gadot began receiving death threats after Rachel's post went viral. The backlash was so serious that Disney reportedly provided extra security for Gal, paying for it out of pocket. But the fallout didn't stop there. Sources say Gal and Rachel barely spoke after the controversy. They didn't attend press events together, and Gal skipped the European premiere while Rachel showed up solo. Even when they did appear together, like at the Oscars, fans noted how stiff and uncomfortable the energy felt. According to insiders quoted by El País, Gal considered Rachel's public criticisms of the movie to be unprofessional. And while the two aren't exactly enemies, they are definitely not friends. People magazine flat out confirmed it. Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler have nothing in common and are not friends anymore. Considering their political divide, age gap, and the way their public images clashed during Snow White's rollout, it's not surprising that this partnership imploded. Unfortunately for Rachel, this political fallout was just one of many reasons people in Hollywood have started distancing themselves. Behind the scenes of Snow White, Rachel Zegler's behavior allegedly made the work environment difficult for the entire crew. According to insiders, Rachel was labeled a bully, with some crew members claiming she regularly tried to dominate conversations, decisions, and even director calls on set. In behind-the-scenes footage, fans noticed Rachel acting distant and cold toward the production crew. She seemed more focused on controlling how she was perceived than on actually collaborating. Visual cue: Rachel at Disneyland, cold to fans, Instagram post. When compared to Gal Gadot's warm interactions, taking photos, laughing, smiling, it became even more apparent that Rachel was disconnected from the people she was supposed to inspire. Sources also claim that Rachel's vision for Snow White was all about control. She allegedly pushed for a version of the character that didn't need men, didn't fall in love, and completely abandoned the traditional Disney arc. One insider stated, she wanted Snow White to be the kind of woman who'd watch her own movie alone in an empty theater if no one else came. Tragically, that's exactly what happened. Rachel posted a now viral TikTok from inside a theater playing Snow White, completely alone. There were no other attendees. What really sparked fan outrage was Rachel's attitude toward criticism. When fans questioned the direction of the remake, Rachel lashed out, mocking people online, shutting down fan theories, and labeling any negative feedback as hate. Eventually, she shifted strategies. Knowing the film was about to bomb, Rachel played the victim card. In one emotional clip, she cried on camera, urging people to see the movie because of how hard she had worked. But fans saw right through it.
Who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Now, with Snow White officially a flop, Rachel Zegler's future in Hollywood is crumbling. Studios that were once interested in her are now reportedly stepping back, with some executives calling her a high-risk liability due to her political messaging and unpredictable behavior. And the worst part? This might not be the end of the fallout. By now, it's crystal clear that the Snow White disaster didn't happen in a vacuum. Between political scandals, controlling behavior on set, and apparent disrespect toward fans, Rachel Zegler didn't just sink one movie. She may have permanently damaged her own career. And Gal Gadot? She's now being applauded for keeping her distance, speaking up, and reminding Hollywood what professionalism is supposed to look like. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Rachel Zegler can come back from this? Was Gal Gadot right to subtly call her out? And should Disney stop casting outspoken political actors in roles meant to inspire kids? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll feature the best ones in our next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.